Hopefully it's no secret that I love watching anime. I wouldn't call myself a fanatic, and I definitely wouldn't call myself the biggest fan, because I'm not. I have preferences of anime, just as mostly others do. I tend to go for the comedic, slice of life, fantasy, wholesome anime. But that doesn't mean that I haven't watched hunterxhunter, Demon Slayer, JJK, and etc. But whenever I watch shonen anime specifically, it gets really weird. The definition of shonen anime, according to wikipedia.org, is described to be manga aimed at an audience of adolescent boys, with the primary target of alternately defined as 10 to 19 years old and as 12 to 21 years old. Obviously, it could be one's fault traveling the streaming surfaces of anime and stumbling across a shonen anime, but let's be serious, they have great marketing strategies for their advertisements. Their cover art is always colorful and vibrant, and it's extremely hard not to become intrigued. The artistic style, the direction, and choice towards character designs are genuinely captivating and unorthodox. Their unnatural hair colors, choice in creating eccentric clothing and hairstyles, which is sometimes a reference to the character's archetype, aids in an immediate establishment to an audience. Mostly all anime genres have these elements, but when I'm looking for an anime binge, I see them within shonen. But I also come across other things, mostly within shonen anime. The prevalence of manga companies continuously putting out harmful forms of media and relationship dynamics, infantilization and fetishization of grown women, and the list can go on. My name is Kalaya, and I'll be explaining why I have certain preferences of anime and why it's sometimes best to steer clear of shonen anime. Before I even dive into this rant, I would like to say that by default, I will always watch shonen anime. Tends to be full of comedy, action, emotional circumstances, and etc. And depending on the author, they do a great job with creating a digestible storyline without the unnecessary fan service, and can attract audiences that typically don't go towards the shonen genre. But when I reference the weird aspect of shonen animes, I want to initially start off with Jujutsu Kaisen. For example, without the manga spoilers, Jujutsu Kaisen almost did an amazing job with deviating from the unnecessary dynamics that make people uncomfortable and feel at unease, until they brought in the relationship with a grown woman and her literal elementary school aged younger brother. Yes, it's weird, and I'm not gonna go further into it, but it's completely unnecessary and completely irrelevant to the storyline. There's no genuine reason as to why that dynamic should have been put into the storyline.
So I was actually thinking about inserting the scene because I care about the well-being of other people. I'm just not gonna do it. If you want to go see it, just search it up. It's not gonna be me.
Another example would be Demon Slayer. I love Demon Slayer. And I had an argument with somebody maybe about 2 years ago, and they asked me why I liked Demon Slayer. And I literally said, because it's so pretty. I did an entire project for my senior English class doing the hero's journey of Tanjiro. And his journey is pretty generic. It's quite literally the basis of the hero's journey. To give a synopsis of what Demon Slayer basically is about, it's quite literally slaying demons. The head demon, or like pretty much Satan himself, attacks Tanjiro and his little sister or older sister's family, and they're massacred except Nezuko. The head demon turns Nezuko into a demon, and Tanjiro goes on his quest to turn Nezuko back into a human being. But because she turns into a demon, it's like the author decided to like psychologically regress her into a younger age, even though he has established her to be someone to be denoted as a grown woman or someone that is transitioning into womanhood. And it's so many instances as to where he's literally making her out to be a child. And I hate to say it like this, and this may be a hot take, but you're creating a caricature of basically. Like it's quite literally what you're doing. Demon Slayer fans may want to fight me. I don't give a fuck. Extremely weird. There's no necessary plot point as to why you should do that. Another honorable mention, which I still love this anime, probably my top 5 because of the lack of gravity of the anime. That's Life of Saiki K. Love that anime down. Me and my boyfriend, we watched it together and he actually liked it. That anime is comedic. Like, it's not serious, and those are the animes I tend to go for because I don't like animes that push me to be emotional. Like, there's no real plot to it, and people are like, there's no real plot to Saiki K. Duh, that's the point. That's why it's that anime would have been great, completely amazing without the relationship between Kokomi and her older brother.
あんな美少女だよな。妹と結婚するのはこの俺だ。なるほど、変態。
Literally creepazoid. Like, he's in love with his sister. He's going to marry his sister. He stalks his sister, walks to her room when she's like undressing. It's weird. We don't need this. It's dandadan. Oh my god. Cannot stress this enough. This could have been an amazing anime without the I'm talking about literally the first episode. I swear to god, I'm not joking. I wish this was a joke. So the first ever episode, it's two high school students. It's a nerdy boy with curly hair and it's Momo. They basically get into an argument and they're like arguing like whether or not ghosts and demons or aliens are real. Both of them within that universe are real. Momo gets abducted by aliens. The aliens are quite literally targeting her to reproduce with her.
What the f is going on? What is going on?
Why is this essential to the plot? And it's literally not, because after this, it doesn't get talked about again. Like, there's no reason as to why that should have happened. Stay with me now. Not only do they bring in such a disgusting topic, but she's being depicted as a high schooler, right? 15, 16-year-old. If they're depicted as a minor, this doesn't set on any alarm bells. Like, I wanted to watch a comedy. The anime does talk about harsh topics and brings awareness, but that literally should have been left out. Like, it's a great anime, but that literally was so unnecessary. If you haven't watched Hunter I suggest you watch it. If all the animes I'm listing off, I've either watched to its full entirety or I've watched to the point where there are no more episodes that are out as of right now. Hunter is basically an anime of two boys quite literally going on a hero's journey together. Prevailing, they're learning techniques to utilize their powers and stuff like that. And it's a great plot point to the story. Then they bring in wish I was joking. He adds nothing dynamic. That archetype has nothing to do with the plot. They could have just said the dude was power hungry. Like, he likes people with power, or like people with power intrigue him because he's interested in them. No, he became infatuated and obsessed with 12-year-olds. And you could hear his inner dialogue. People that defend Hizuka, I literally be side-eyeing him because you're literally just saying like he's attractive because he likes children. That's what gets you rowdy? That's what gets you crazy? That's what makes you deranged? You need to be under the psych ward, not inside of it, under it. They need to have an underground base specifically created for you, because there's no way. That's disgusting. Lock them up. When I see these dynamics, I sometimes just turn off the show in full totality and not even finish it. Like, I haven't finished Fire Force. I think after episode 2 or 3, I stopped watching Fire Force. Yeah, a lot of people might not even agree with me for that, and that's fine, and I'm gonna complain. And whether or not you agree with me, I don't care. And that's my spiel on dynamics I see within anime and why I sometimes understand why people don't like to watch anime, because there are great animes out there. Like, the entire genre of anime, or the entire aspect of anime, is not bad. Like, it's not always going to have these harmful, unnecessary fan service dynamics in them, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's my spiel. Thank you for watching. If you were worried about me, I was fainting for about a week or two straight, so I've been resting and sleeping and stuff like that, and I wanted to make sure I was healthy and okay before I started recording YouTube and before I returned back to work. So if you've been worried, I promise you I'm okay. Thank you for watching. Make sure you take care of yourself, drink water, eat the foods that give you nutrients. Bye. Take care.